Parents shouldn't be afraid to vaccinate their children because immunizations protect them from dangerous diseases. Some parents think that the side effects of immunizations are worse than the disease itself, but that's not true. These diseases can have fatal consequences on a child, like pneumonia, encephalitis, meningitis, and cause even the child's death. Historically, diseases that nowadays are considered mild or that nobody talks about used to kill thousands of people every year. For example, polio or smallpox. They were so feared in the past, and now they have been eliminated from the country thanks to the success of immunizations. On the other hand, measles, which was declared eliminated from the United States in the year 2000, now is back as a result of anti-vaccination movements. Vaccines are safe and effective. The safety of vaccines is under constant study. The American Academy of Pediatrics works in unison with the Center for Disease Control and Prevention to make recommendations for the use of vaccines. Usually, parents are concerned about their children being bombarded with so many different antigens during the administration of the multiple vaccines. But, in reality, immunizations contain a low number of antigens, in which most of them are weakened or dead. And these germs represent a fraction of what a child is exposed on a typical day. Parents should allow their children to be inoculated because it provides for the health protection of their entire community. Vaccinations are based on the evidence of herd immunity. By vaccinating your children, you are indirectly protecting somebody else who couldn't get immunized, like babies who are too young to be vaccinated, pregnant women, and immune-compromised individuals, like people who are receiving cancer treatment. In other words, the more people in a community who are immune, the smaller the probability of these highly vulnerable people coming in contact with a sick person. According to science, if immunity rates are higher than 95%, a single infected person is not able to spread the disease to others. So many studies have shown that vaccines are not linked to autism. What creates confusion is that the first signs of autism present at the same time vaccinations need to be administered. Actually, the largest study about vaccines related to autism showed that unvaccinated individuals were 7% more likely to develop autism than vaccinated ones. Blaming on the presence of mercury in vaccines, certain parents refuse to vaccinate their children, creating a big alarm among others. Although this may be true, there is a logical explanation that medical practitioners present in their defense. In order to preserve vaccines, thimerosal, a mercury-based preservative, was used as an ingredient for many decades. But this didn't mean vaccines were harming children with exposure to mercury, since there are two kinds of mercury, ethyl mercury and methyl mercury. Ethyl mercury is the one that is absorbed by the body, causing no harm, while methyl mercury is found in certain kind of fish, and this one can be toxic at high levels. As specialists explain, thimerosal contains ethyl mercury. In addition, since 1999, thimerosal was reduced and eliminated in vaccines as a preventive measure. As you can see in the chart, almost none of the vaccines that are administered to kids contain thimerosal. In conclusion, even though the fear of certain parents about inoculating their children is understandable, the concern is founded in misbelief. It's essential to make these parents to understand that immunizations are safe and provide great benefits for their children, not only protecting their kids from dangerous and fatal diseases, but also their neighbors' children, and especially the most vulnerable people. It's heartbreaking to see a child passing away from a disease that could be preventable.